I'm Paul Goodfellow, and I'm a PhD trained geneticist. I've been at Washington University for almost 18 years and have been participating in the Young Women's Breast Cancer Program for more than 5 years. Our genetic studies are following on earlier work from the 90s in which they discovered genes that are important in familial breast cancer. And as I've said before, women who have early onset breast cancer have an important genetic factor that's driving the development of the cancer. So our approach has been to focus on women with very early onset disease, that's invasive carcinoma or cancer before age 40, and that represents a very small fraction of all American women, and to look at their genetic makeup compared to women who have never had a cancer. And a really important part of this study is to also compare their genetic makeup to their parents' genetic makeup. And we look at the patient's DNA, that's the material we isolate from white blood cells, compare it to women who don't have cancer and their parents, using really innovative technologies that have come on board just in the last few years. Studies in early onset breast cancer are novel. And the reason is that until recently we didn't have good technologies to search for genetic factors that contribute to disease. And until recently, it wasn't possible to conceive of collecting large cohorts of young women with breast cancer. There's another reason why the sort of work we're doing hasn't really been a major focus of science, is that most women get breast cancer at a later age, and much of the funding has gone towards the masses, which of course is appropriate. However, young women have a much longer time to survive their breast cancer and could in fact lose many years of life. And we now believe that studying patients and their family members, particularly their parents, will afford us opportunities that were never possible before. So the sort of research that we're doing has real implications for patient management and potentially even reduction of disease. At present, a lot of breast cancer management is in the treatment of existing disease, or so-called secondary prevention, where women have earlier detection of cancers. Well, this is a population in which screening is really a problem. We don't know what the right screening approach is for young women with breast cancer. And once a woman has disease, she's part of a whole different healthcare problem. However, if a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer before age 40, irrespective of any mutation status, her sisters have a significantly increased risk for developing breast cancer at a young age. I don't want to be doom and gloom on this. Their risk is relatively low because young women don't get breast cancer very often, but they're at least 6-fold over the population norm. And many of these young women don't have a clue about their risk, don't know what to do. So we hope to have not only new genetic approaches, but also to develop tools to help educate women and the people who care for them about what's appropriate for screening for their relatives. We learn a great deal from those rare events in nature, and early onset breast cancer is fortunately an unusual event. And in general, as a geneticist, I've learned that the rare events are highly informative and provide us with information that's relevant to the more general problems.